Hello guys, I hope you are all doing well. In this video, we are going to talk about functions in C programming language. So let's begin. Before diving into the functions, let's first understand why we require functions. Let's say there is a program in which we have to find the area of a triangle. Okay, so let's say there is a program, and to find an area of a triangle there will be some logic, right? So let's say the logic is of 3 lines, right? Then you are writing some other code, okay, some other statement, other lines of code. Then after writing some code, let's say we again required to find the area of a triangle, then again this logic will be written here, okay, these 3 lines, right? And the number of lines can vary. Okay, let's say the program we want to perform some other operation and the program execution carry on, so we write some other lines, right? Then after some time I again required to find the area of a triangle, then I again write these lines here, okay, these 3 lines. So we see here is that the same piece of statements I am repeating myself when I required a particular set of operation, okay, operation or particular set of we can say execution of some code, right? So this is not a good approach. Why? First of all, it is increasing the repetition of code, okay, repetition of code is happening in this when we are using this approach. Okay, secondly is that let's say that there is an error, okay, and let's say there are 4 functionality. Let's say there was area of, this was area of triangle, okay, and another in another location there was area of square, let's say, and in other location let's say there was area of rectangle or circle. A better approach when we use the programming is that we should always divide our program into smaller unit. That where the function comes in handy. Now what will I do? Instead of writing here 3 times, let's say, okay, I will write a function and all these lines in this function, and whenever I want to do this functionality I will call it, okay, I will call this function. Control will go to this function, then these lines will execute, and then after that the execution of the program will be repeated back in the next line. Okay, similarly if I want to do the same functionality here, then I will again call the function, right? And even further if I want it, then I will call this function. Okay, now what happened here? First, that I am not repeating the same lines again and again. Instead I am writing it in one place, and after writing in it I am only just calling it, okay, I am just calling it in the main program whenever I want to call, and in any number of time I can call the same function. Now modularity of a program is also maintained here. Okay, let's say here instead of function the name was triangle, okay, or let's say try, right? So whenever I want to find the area of a triangle, I will call this function, right? Now let's say there is another requirement that we also want to find the square in some part of our program, then I'll make function for square, okay, and I will define its functions or body. I will define the function with some statements, right? And whenever I want to find the square, this block will be executed by calling the function, right? Now afterwards, let's say I am executing my program and I find out that the area of triangle is not correct, okay, so instead of finding where the logic was incorrect, I will simply go to this function, and because the area of triangle was executing from these locations, I will come to know that okay, there will be some problems within these lines. Okay, I do not have to search this entire program, I would only search in the function definition, right? So it also is a debugging process, right? So we can say that there are basically 3 benefits. First, that there is no repetition of code, okay, no repetition, then modularity, to make program into the smaller components, we can say, and modularity then leads us to ease of debugging. Okay, so these are some benefits of using functions. Now let's see how functions are actually used in C programming. Before defining or calling the function, we have to first write the prototype of the function. How we write the prototype of the function is, let's say first there is return type. Okay, let's say the return type right now is void. Then the name of function, let's say the name of function is fun, and then parenthesis and then semicolon. This is the prototype. Okay, this is prototype of function. Now each of its entity has a different meaning. We will talk about it one by one. Okay, then we write the body. Let's say the body is void fun. Okay, the same prototype is written here. Okay, then let's say I am writing here printf of cool, right? And that's all. There's only one line. Okay, then I'll call the main function. Let's say main, and I call here the function fun. Okay, so for calling I will simply write the name of function. Okay, fun. So now what is happening here, the execution of program will start from the main. Okay, it will go in this line, it will see okay a function is called here, the control will go into this line. Okay, then it is written printf cool, then in output cool will be printed, and then its body will be ended, and the control of the program will again go back to the next line. Okay, now let's say this is written printf of okay, then I am calling function, and then return printf of fun over. Okay, so now what will be the output here? Now first of all the control will go to this line, it is written here printf of okay, so okay will be printed, right? Then the function is called here, then the control will go in this line. Okay, then here it is written cool, so then cool will be printed, and its own body is terminated here, so the control will go to the next line. Okay, wherever it is called, it is going to, after execution of this function, the control will go its next line. Okay, so now the control is here and it is written fun over, so now it will print fun over, so this will be our output. Now let's talk about the prototype, right? In the first place we use the return type. Okay, let's say the return type is integer. Okay, so in the function definition I will write now integer fun, let's say printf okay, and since the return type is integer, now I will return let's say 5. Okay, now 5 is integer, return type is integer, and return type in the prototype I have defined integer. Okay, now what is the meaning of return type or returning integer? Let's say in the word main I'll write here integer, let's say b, a variable. Okay, and I write here b equals to fun, right? And then I write printf of %d and b. Now what will be the value of d? Okay, so I have defined here a variable, then I call the function. Okay, this is calling our function, so the program control will go here, right? And then it will see okay return type is integer, then it will keep on executing the function. First it will print okay, and in output it will give okay, and then it is returning 5. Okay, so whatever is returning here will be assigned to b. Okay, so now b will become 5, right? And then when I do its when I execute this printf, the output will be 5. Okay, now let's say I am not assigning it with anything. Okay, so although it will return 5, it is not assigned to anything, so nothing is happening here. Okay, so our output here will be garbage, we don't know what will be the output, some random value will be given here. So this is the meaning of the return type, what the function is going to return back to our main function. if we can use here integer, character, float, any data type. Okay, we can also use here void. Void means we are returning nothing. Okay, nothing will be returned by this function. Okay, and when we are using void, we cannot use the return keyword, because that is used when we want to return some value, whether it is of character type or float type or integer type, right? Next we have function name. Okay, this is function name. Any name can be given. Let's say area of triangle, area of square, student information, any name could be given to a function. So here the name of function is fun. Now why is this name of function is important? Because first, when I am defining the body, this is the body of a function. Okay, body of a function, or we can also say that definition of a function. This is definition of function, right? So when I'm going to define any particular function, I have to write here the name of that function. Let's say there are 5 functions, and to uniquely know, okay, which is the definition of which function, then this is useful. For example, let's say there is another function void fun2. Okay, now to define this function I will write fun. To define this function I will write void fun2. Okay, the name are unique here. Okay, so this is the name of the function. Another use is that when we are calling a particular function, we have to use the name of our function. Let's say I want to call this function, then I will write here fun and then parenthesis. Okay, it is going to call this function, and in output it will give me okay. If I want to, let's say, call this function, then I can write fun2. Okay, another thing, any function can be called any number of times, so I can again call fun, then again call fun. Okay, any number of time a particular function can be called. This is called the calling of function. Okay, so this is calling our function, this is our name of our function, this is our return type. Okay, and this is our definition of our function or body of our function. Another thing is that a function can call another function also. Okay, let's say there is another function, let's say this is fun2. Okay, and in fun2 it is written that void fun2, I'm writing its definition here, then it is written printf hello. Okay, now, and I am calling here only the fun. Okay, so the control will go to the fun, then in this line, and here let's say I am calling fun2 also in this function. Okay, so now fun will be executed, so it will print first okay, then it will call the fun2, then the control will go to this line, it will print here hello, and it will terminate it, then the back go to the next line, and then it will end, then back to the next line. Okay, so the meaning is that a function can also call the another function, there are no restriction. One last thing is that here inside the parenthesis we write the values. Okay, let's say I want to pass some values from one function to another function. I want to pass some values or data present in some variable from one function to another function. Okay, then we write here parameters and arguments. Okay, we will talk about passing the values between the function in the next video, and for this video this is all we got, and that's all for today guys. I hope you like the video. If you have any doubt, please comment it down. Thanks for watching, and I have to see you in the next video.